Howdy, Space Rangers. Captain Phoenix here. Today is the day where I record a video and I got 100 subscribers. But whatever. So yeah, today we are going to do a review. As I mentioned in my 100 subscriber announcement, I will be doing a review of two projects which I have a lot of good feelings. So like these are two movies and shows that I have a lot of good feelings towards, a lot of love to, and I feel like they impacted me in a good way. And I figured the only way I can do them justice is if I do a positive review, because most of the time I do, just angry review. So I figured this time I'll do a positive, fair review where I dissect and analyze these things. So today we will be starting with Ninjago Season 9 Hunted. So in this video I will be talking about why I love this season, why I think it's the best of the show, and even though the creators say that Ninjago will hit its peak soon, I do think that this is what the show has paid with. I do think that this is what we will get. This is truly the best of Ninjago and why I think it's amazing. So I made 3 videos talking about Ninjago's failures. Might as well make a great one, a big one, talking about Ninjago's super cool success. But before that, I just want to say that this video is sponsored by Fitness Solutions. Not 50 Solutions. No, this video is sponsored by Fitness Solutions. More on them later on in the video. When will they come up? When you least expect it. Alright, let's start this video. Now, I'm not gonna lie, before I talk about Season 9, I think I need to review Season 8 a bit. And Season 8, it kind of annoyed me. I'm not going to talk about too much about it. I'm just going to say I found it to be overrated. I didn't like the new intro. I didn't like how they removed the weekend whip. I didn't like, the new style that this show's going for, the new rules they introduced. Hell, look at these new designs. What the hell are these designs?
Your face. You're talking, oh my God, what's wrong with your face? No.
Yeah, long story short, suffice to say, I did not enjoy Ninjago Season 8. Again, not the worst season, but it was, how should I say, it was too much to throw at me. There was too much change way too fast. So that's what I would say about Season 8, is that it felt too new. Too much change, way too fast. I feel like they should have definitely given us more time to allow this to sink in. And I just really do not like Season 8. I really think it's overrated, and I just really... personally, this is just a pet peeve. I just do not like how the community is like, oh my God, we love Season 8, Season 8. But then when I see that it didn't give me enough time to like sink in and accept this new world, there was a season that allowed me to sink in and accept this new world. This season was Season 9. I would say Season 9 is a tonally consistent season. And the fact that it came out, I think, about 2 to 5 months after Season 8, at that point in time, I'd allowed it to sink in. I'd gone to accept the new rules of this world. And I'm like, okay, fine. I'll watch Season 9 for what it is. I won't compare it to the old stuff on Ninjago. And so I feel like it's totally consistent with its, dark tone, with its clever writing, and the way it tells its story. And that's why I really like Season 9 a lot more. And basically, another reason I like Season 9 is because it contains all the... all the ingredients I would love to see in a Ninjago season. This season feels like a fanfic season, which I guess could play into why I like it so much. Is because it literally feels like a season that I would have written. It has all the ingredients I want in like a perfect Ninjago season, like the ninja on the run / being hunted by some villain. The villain has arisen, either a new or old villain, and what this season has done is I went the extra mile and not just gave us like some old villain who's retiring or some new villain who has to take time to grow, but 2 villains. We got the Iron Baron in the first realm serving as a new villain, and Garmadon in Ninjago serving as the old villain. We get new and old, so it's like having our cake and eat it too. I really love that. The return of the Elemental Masters was also a really nice touch. I really liked how Skylar and the Elemental Masters returned. If there was one thing that this show needed, was more Skylar. Make her part of the team, damn writers. So yeah. But also in my fanfic, we had Kai being like the main ninja, because as you guys know, Kai is my favorite ninja. But I was fine with him not being the main character of this season. If anything, I'm honestly shocked as to how Wu is the main character for this season, and yet he works so well. I'm honestly surprised that the character of Wu was written so well in this season. Like, he actually has more dimensions to him than just being the master or the brother of the villain. Like, he actually does have a great character, but we'll get into that later. However, not everything is peachy. Now you're gonna have to excuse me here. I'm gonna be a little baby about this. I'm gonna be a little B word about this because even though I love this season, and even though I said it's essentially what I envision in a perfect Ninjago season, there are some flaws and nitpicks I have with it. Obviously, not everything is perfect. However, these nitpicks I have are like so petty and negligible, I wouldn't be surprised if you hated me. That's why I have this picture of me being an angry boy screaming at the camera, though it's not literally me, you know what I'm saying. Anyways, the few problems I have with this season are not really that big, suffice to say. I mean, I say it's near perfect. I wouldn't call the season perfect. It's admirable, it's really good. However, I wouldn't call it perfect. And every time I try to call it perfect in my mind, something always like annoys the back of my head. Like perfect isn't the right word for it. Like, are you sure you want to say this? Especially for like this review where I want to make it as big and epic as possible. I'm like, are you sure you should say this? That it's perfect. And I'm like, perfect isn't the right word. Near perfect is the right word. Almost perfect is a better word. Why? Because I feel like there are some problems I have with this. But before I talk about that, I guess we'll have to talk about season 6 real quick. Now, as I've mentioned before, season 6 is my second favorite season of Ninjago. I feel like this one was also a really near perfect season. The only problem I had with it was the ending. Not the fact that they time traveled, but how they went around time traveling it. It's like, why would the memories be forgotten? It's as if this season is non-canon. That's why I would be mad. It's because they treat the season like it didn't happen. Not the show, but the fans and such. It's what I wish they could have done about seasons. I understand that they had to time travel because it was to set up season 7 and all that, but I feel like a better way they could have done this is if they reverse Nadakan's effects. Don't reverse time as a whole, just reverse Nadakan's effects. That way you still keep your memories, you still get to keep the experiences, but the land of Ninjago and everyone else has gone back to normal. I feel like that would have been better. That's why I don't consider season 6 to be a perfect season. It was almost perfect had it just nailed the ending. And that's my problem with season 9. Not that it doesn't nail the ending, just a few things there prevent it from me saying it's perfect. So even though it's still the best season in my mind, and I still think it's a gem, there are things holding it back from being perfect. But of course, nothing has its flaws. So back to season 9, now that you know where I'm coming from with this comparison, I feel like I gotta talk about the issues with season 9. I would say some of my smallest, because they're not big issues with season 9 is that they don't have ninja, jitsu or dragons. Obviously, this isn't a season 9 problem, it's more of a season 8 problem, and this is because they had to water down the ninja's powers. Understandable so, because in the movie they didn't do jitsu or had dragons or anything crazy like that, though I do miss them, and especially considering how many problems could have been solved in season 8 and 9. Like, I remember in season 8 they were like chasing Mr. E like up an alleyway, and I'm like, damn. Imagine how simple it would have been had they caught him with a dragon, or like with Jitsu, get to the rooftop before he did. Or in season 9, where they need to get back to Ninjago, and they realize the only way to get back to Ninjago is with dragons. If only the ninja could somehow manifest dragons from their own energy. I wonder, is this not the same show? So things like that bothered me. Again, they're negligible, but they still keep season 9 from being perfect. And of course, I have issues with that one filler episode. That one filler episode definitely kind of rubbed me a bit of the wrong way. It was still good. Like, obviously we still got more lore to the universe, but you could tell it was kind of fillery, which is weird because in a season of 10 episodes you shouldn't have filler in it. But it was kind of a repeat of the last episode with the whole chase scene equivalent. So yeah, oh, not the last episode, sorry, it was kind of like some weird chasing, and then the next episode did that chasing a lot better. So even though the next episode would have been counted as the filler one, at least the next episode had more consequences. So the first one is definitely more fillery in my eyes. And a problem I have with the show in general, just like the whole show, not with season 9, is the fact that we have too many inventors. Like, the ninja team is made up of 6 people, and there are like 6 inventors on the team. Oh, sorry, did I say 6 inventors? I meant 4 inventors. I am so dumb. But yeah, like, we got Nia, Jay, Zane, and Pixel. All these guys are smart and respective in their own rights, and they invent things. Jay had to invent stuff in the first realm. Pixel and Nia were trapped in Ninjago doing their own things with their mechs, and Zane, I don't know why, but it seems like in later seasons, Zane seems to have gotten dumber. Like, he doesn't seem to do that much mechanizing or thinking. Like, he can scan stuff, but that's about it. Like, again, that's the problem with having too many smart people on the team. You gotta cut it down. So those would be my nitpicks and issues with the season, and I guess the show in general. But now that I'm done whining like a little boy, we can go back to the actual review. So let's start with the characters. The first one is Wu. This is definitely a Wu focused season. This focuses on him and his journey, trying to regain his memories and become a master once again. I really liked how they made Wu the main character this season. I remember when I watched it, I'm like, really? You're gonna make Wu the focused ninja for the season? Like, the whole point of a focused ninja is that they're a focused ninja. And so, I don't know, that kind of bummed me out. I was hoping that the focus ninja would be something like Kai or Cole even. But Wu, huh. But then this season actually proved my suspicions wrong. He was honestly a really endearing and good character. The one time when I actually enjoyed watching the master over the students, I loved how we got to see flashbacks of him and his brother and the first Ninjutsu master. I loved how he got the golden armor. Oh my god, that scene in the Fastborn's lair where he's like confronting the Iron Baron, and then he puts on the dragon suit, and then he talks to the firstborn, and then he rides her. Oh my god, that was so good. Like, I love the relationship he has with the ninja. And again, this is why I like the season so much. It's because it's such classic Ninjago. Like, the writers deliberately took the four ninja along with Master Wu to the first realm and left Lloyd and Nia on their own. I wonder why they did that. Because that's how the show started. The four original ninja and Wu, no extra characters, and I really like that. I like his relationship with the ninja, how the ninja have to raise and train him this time, other than it being instead of the other way around, like how the show started. Also, can I just say, I love his relationship with Faith. Honestly, I was one of those people who was hoping Wu didn't age back to an old man, and he starts chilling with Faith, but sadly that was not it. But speaking of Faith, aka Heavy Metal, is my favorite character from the whole show. Okay, well, not true, but she's my favorite side character from the whole show, hands down. And she's also my favorite female character. Yes, she's better than Nia and Misako and all those people. She is S tier when it comes to ranking Ninjago characters. I freaking love this woman, and I love the whole feminist message she's trying to send. How is it like for those who don't know, Faith had to pretend to be a dude. She had to pretend to be Heavy Metal to serve the Iron Baron, and that was so that Iron Baron could keep her as his head hunter, but not have everyone else know that she's a girl. And it makes sense. Like, if this were anything else, if this were made by Disney or Netflix, she wouldn't be allowed to be a hunter just because she's a female. But no, this is a post-apocalyptic world, sort of, where the hunters are like living in the fast realm. They need all the help they can get, and so obviously they get Heavy Metal, to help them as a hunter. But obviously they can't release to the rest of the clan that she's a girl, so they put her in a dude's outfit, but he still keeps her as his second in command. And I'm like, yes, Iron Baron, yes, you may be a chauvinist, but yes, that is the right way to go. Again, if this were made by Disney or Netflix, it would have gone so horribly wrong. It would have just drained the message. They would have said she has to be born different or something. But Faith is a regular person who's just following the norms of society, who dressed up as a dude but came out as a girl in the end to show that, girl power and all that. And even then, she's like, he dressed me up as a girl just because he didn't think girls were supposed to be headhunters. And he still respected her as a headhunter. Like, damn, I love the role and message she gives out. And as you know, I'm not all about these dumb feminist messages and such, because again, companies really don't know how to tell them right. But for Faith, I feel like they hit the nail on the head, and it honestly shocks me. I mean, if a kids show is doing better at messages than Disney and Netflix, then we have a problem. Because how is it Ninjago tells this message so well, but other companies like Netflix and Disney fail at this spectacularly? I love this character with all my heart because she was so well written. Imagine these eyes being heart eyes, because that is all the respect she deserves. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I drink that respect women juice in the morning, and I drink it at night before I go to bed. And Faith, she deserves a respect women jug. You see that stuff I'm licking on the ground? Yeah, I accidentally spilled my respect women juice. That's respect Faith juice. Rebranded, okay? Rebranded, people. Alright, show love to Faith. Make her your favorite Ninjago character. If you don't, you're out of my life. But her, wow, perfect. And she's a Lego character. How the hell did they even do this? Speaking of Netflix and Disney, look at this picture of Mickey Mouse. That was me before I found out about fitness solutions. And this is me after, doing fitness solutions, after buying their products and using them. What's the difference between these two pictures, you might ask? And no, it's not just the haircut. I understand, obviously, my hair grows in between workout phases, but come on, guys, don't be mean like that. No, the difference is in biceps. Like, look at that. Look at this squishy brain person here, and then look at those biceps over there. That is what Fitness Solution does to you, and I might as well just start talking about them. And yes, I will keep this picture of buff Mickey Mouse in your face. So, Fitness Solutions is a gym equipment company that sells and repairs gym equipment for you guys. I told you this sponsor was gonna come out of nowhere. You should have listened to me. And so now they obviously sell and repair gym equipment. So if you got broken stuff, they'll repair it for you. If you want to buy it, they'll give it to you. Brand new or second hand, you get it all, man. Fitness Solutions, they do well. Trust me, it's good. If you wanna look smoking like this and win the ladies over, you gotta follow Fitness Solutions. And if you do not like the sponsorship, well, you're squishy Mickey Mouse, essentially. So go buy Fitness Solutions. Obviously, I'll leave more of them in the description down below. But if you want to find the website, that's fitnesssolutions.co.ke. Buy from them, let them know I came to you, and please, be like me, the buff Mickey Mouse. And now, before we continue with the characters and back to the show, I just want to say, Disney, Netflix, do not botch up women characters. I have something to tell you when you botch up women characters. And also, to anyone who does not love Faith, I have to say this to you as well. So Disney, Netflix, anyone who hates Faith, I have this to say.
What was I tell you? You said you're ugly, you're disgusting, I'm going to kill you, give me $200.
So let's talk about Kai, because I feel like my favorite ninja needs to get some spotlight. And please, Ninjago, just give him his own season, for crying out loud. The pilot season doesn't count. That was 2 episodes, okay? Season 4 would have been fine, but Lloyd hijacked the last 2 episodes. Season 7, he had to share it with Nia, and then season 11 wasn't even his season. Mind you, it's also annoying that he had to share his season with Nia, but for Nia's season, in season 15, you freaking benched Kai. Like, that wasn't even his season at all. Like, it's like he's non-existent. Ninjago, fix this, please. Make season 16 his. Anyways, let's talk about my buddy here for a second. Kai actually got some spotlight in the last episode, as little as it was, because he actually was the last person, or at least the person to lay the finishing blow on the Oni Titan. And even though the citizens of Ninjago came to help later, I'll ignore that. He still took down the Oni Titan. He had his few moments. I like how he trained Wu and such. And you know, give some love to the red ninja out there. So, yeah. Hi, so this next part, I didn't have any clips for it, and I'm too lazy to find any, so I'm just gonna have to give you my profile picture. Anyways, what I was saying is, about, this is like personal stuff I wanted to say about Season 9, is that I honestly prefer the stuff in the Fast Realm to that in Ninjago, but I know a lot of people who disagree with me. Because they think that the stuff in Ninjago is better than the first round. They're like, oh my goodness, the stuff in Ninjago is definitely what I wanted in Season 8. Like, the hunted part, like the Ninjago part, like the hunted part of Ninjago is what I imagined Sons of Gamadan was gonna be. I could care less about the first round. The first round is so boring and lame. And why did they bring that in? It's called Hunted for a reason. You goddamn fools! The whole season was about the first round. How do you say that the first round was boring? That's like saying the most boring part of a hamburger is the meat. Huh? What? You people are dunces. Alright, this is me. This is me with my superior intellect, because I am better than you. Sorry, I had to let that out a bit. I mean, in my personal opinion, Sons of Gamadon and Prime Empire are pretty overrated. Season 8 because it was new, and Season 12 because it wasn't Season 11. Season 8, a lot of people really liked it because, again, it's new, as I said. Season 12, people liked it because it wasn't Season 11, which, again, I don't blame them. I get why Season 12 was overrated, because Season 11 was a freaking piece of trash that no one should ever watch in their lives. But, and I know, SOG lovers will dunk on Hunted because Sons of Gamadon is better, according to them. Even though I think Hunted is pretty underrated and should be loved more than Sons of Gamadon. But you don't see me dunking on Sons of Gamadon, do you know? So why are you dunking on my Hunted? Jesus. And I don't understand. So many people love Sons of Gamadon, and I will never understand why. I would say Season 9 is also pretty perfect because of the fact that there's a lot of fan service and references. Like, this season definitely feels like a love letter to the fans because of how many, like, things they actually brought back. For example, again, we have the OG ninja team alone in the first round. We have the return of an old villain, Gamadon. We have the hyping up of the return of the OG ninja team. Like, this season actually pays respects to the OG ninja team, and I don't think I've seen that in my life. Again, the Elemental Masters also return, something a lot of fans have been begging for since Season 4. I mean, what the heck are you gonna do? But obviously, those are just my personal preferences. On the topic of more characters, I feel like we gotta talk about the first Spinjitzu Master. Even though he's not physically in this season, I love the lore and extra stuff they put around him. Like, they actually give him a story, you know, with the Oni and Dragon and such. Obviously, season 8 and 9 are tied with this story, so I'm going to talk about more of it in season 9. And they actually make the first Ninjitsu Master seem more like a real character, even though he is dead. I love how his backstory ties to Wu, Lloyd, and Gamadon, aside from the fact that they're just related. But obviously, in later seasons, I don't like how they're treating the story. It's not like in later seasons, especially in season 15, they make it seem like the first Ninjitsu Master sort of invaded Ninjago and put whatever he wanted over it. I don't know. Obviously, the season isn't over, and I really don't have a lot to say about that. But for what they did with him in season 8 and 9, I have a lot of respect for that. I do feel like how they treated the first Ninjitsu Master was perfect, top tier. I mean, how do you give a dead character this much character? You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it was really done well. Lloyd really grew, and I'm glad the season was not fully Lloyd focused, because as of season 9, we had like what, 2 or 3 seasons that were Lloyd focused. I know season 2 was his season, what's this, 8 was his season, and I know there's a debate on whether or not season 5 was his season. I personally think it was Nia's season, but whatever. So I like the fact that he's not the main character of this season, but we still get to see him grow. Honestly, I'm one of those few people who actually think that his new voice actor is better than his old one. No shade on his old one, but I do think if you're gonna make Lloyd mature up, then give him a male voice actor. Obviously, I like how he finally got over Harumi, cause simping ain't pimping. So, but again, even though I say I'm proud of him getting over Harumi, in later seasons, he still hung up over her. Like, what the heck? What the heck, boy? Why you hung up over a girl who didn't even like you in the first place? Literally, in season 11, he's hung up over her. And he's busy talking while Akita's right there, my guy. Like, might as well just go with the wolf animal shifter. Yeah, you'll be called a furry, but at the very least, it's not Harumi. Season 12, we have Racer 7. Oh no, I have to fight with Harumi in this season. Honestly, it seems like every time the show tries to give Lloyd a new girl, he has to like, go back to Harumi. At least with season 13 onward, we don't hear of this annoying story, but my god, is it annoying. But I really love that fight with his dad. I mean, look at that animation. It is so smooth. Way better than the past Ninjago seasons. Again, I'll get into more depth about this in a second, but I really like this fight with his father, and I even like how he defeated Gamadon. Not just by punching him in the face, but saying, oh, by the way, if you get stronger by fighting, how about I don't fight you? So I really like that. And then we have Dareth. So here's the thing. Even though Dareth can be pretty annoying, he was actually pretty caring and funny in this season. Obviously, I don't think he was at his best. I honestly think Dareth was at his most funny in season 7, which is weird. Because if you think about it, season 7 was also Hands of Time. Kind of a disappointing season for Ninjago. And if one of the better things about season 7 was that Dareth was at his best / funniest, damn, then they did him well. Honestly, I think season 9 is a close second for him. Again, he's very caring of Lloyd in the first episode, and he's also funny, but he's also very dumb because he's Dareth. In this season, there were a lot of toilet humor with him, especially when he unlocked his brown power. Obviously, his brown power made him go to the toilet a lot, which wasn't funny, okay? It was never even funny. I don't even think the first time they said that joke, it was funny. I just, oh God, why? Why did he need to have brown power? I get it was to give him some weird character, but I didn't enjoy it. It was so dumb. And then, again, later on, he gets beaten by Harumi while she's tied in a chair. Dareth, you got beaten up by a girl who's tied to a chair. How the hell did that happen? I understand you are dumb, but there's a difference between 0 IQ and negative 1,000 IQ. They both mean nothing, but there's a big difference though. Again, I really do not like how Dareth was actually kind of so dumb and annoying in this season, yet there were actual moments where he was actually funny. Like in the last episode where he saved Gail Gossip, that was actually funny. I really like how he took out the criminals by accident, and I really like his crush on Gail Gossip. That was honestly, dorky and cute, but nope, he had to come here with his brown power toilet humor. Of course, that went after like 2 episodes because I think the writers realized their own mistake, but God, was it so annoying. Obviously, we have Pixel. I do think Pixel gets more development in later seasons. Like, from season 10 onward, I really think the show is focusing more on Pixel. She really didn't do much in this season except, like, help the characters get away and help Lloyd with his training. So I really don't have that much to say about her. Though, again, I will give her credit and say in later seasons, she does get better. She's one of the few things that gets better with the new seasons of Ninjago. Nia gave a great speech in the first episode, and I freaking loved it. It was so moving and impactful. Like, what the hell? Like, this actually felt like a climactic speech, like we were about to hit the end game. Her speech in the first episode, what really was moving and emotional, and I freaking loved it until they undid it in the same episode by proving the ninja was still alive. Yeah, I gotta talk about that, don't I? Before I ruin my own taste by talking about how Nia's speech was undone, I guess I also gotta talk about the animation, since I hinted to it earlier. This animation is significantly better than that of Season 7, and to an extent Season 8 as well. I love the colors and the textures. Like, I understand, like, for the first room it's very orange, and for like Ninjago it's very purpley black, but they actually work well with those colors. Like, they don't just stay stagnant. I like the way they use them. The texture is also really good, especially in the first round with like the rock and sand. Perfect. The details and movements obviously as great as ever. Especially as I mentioned in the final battle, like at the end of the, how should I say, in the last episode, like the climax of this season, the final battle with Lloyd and Gamadon, that was really great. It looks like these Lego characters actually flipping and fighting and you know doing all that crazy stuff, slishing and slashing with their swords. What have I said? Slashing. But I really did like the final fight. It really was just the height of animation. Like, yes, this is the Ninjago we want. I know aside from season 4, the action in the previous seasons really wasn't as good. Season 4 really was the best season for combat with the ninja, but the other seasons really aren't as good. It just looks like Lego characters smacking against each other, which I could understand is the point, but this is supposed to be an animated show. In this season, like, it's much better. In the past seasons, I felt like they were a bit too stilted, especially in seasons like, I want to say, like 3, 5, especially 7, they felt too stilted, for my opinion. So I really like how in this season they are a lot better. Like, they actually move like animated characters. But you know, is the point if you're trying to make an animated show to sell toys, you know what I'm saying? Which I guess is why I also understand why they had to switch animation studios from Will Film to WildBrain. I really understand, because there is no going back in terms of the action scenes and such, and I feel like WildBrain does better than animation than Will Film. So even though, how should I say? So even though I'm not the biggest supporter of WildBrain, like I wish they went back to the storytelling Will Film did, I do support the reason why they had to switch animation studios. Mostly again due to the fact that there was no going back from the good action in seasons 8 and 9. Like, you had to keep moving forward, and I do feel like the actions in the action scenes in the later seasons really are good, with the way the ninja acts more noodle like. How should I say? Like, they act more smoothly and more wobbly than stilted than they do, because I feel like the action scenes in season 13 and 15 especially really are good from WildBrain, and they are a huge step up over what Will Film did. So even though I'm not the biggest fan of the new animation, I do support it to an extent. So now we have to come back to my personal pet peeves, where I give my mini theories and try and talk about what else the season did. It's not really like under a specific point or anything, just so I'd give these extra points out there. For example, there was this mini theory I had. I never really made it into a full video because I didn't think the substance I had was good enough for a full video. So this mini theory I had was Gamadon's life dependent on the Oni mask? For example, Gamadon was brought back to life with 3 Oni masks. In season 9, 2 of the 3 were destroyed. However, the last one wasn't destroyed for a very strange reason, and that mask never came back. After season 9, we never see it again. And so it makes me wonder, is Gamadon's life dependent on that mask? If one day that mask was destroyed, would Gamadon die? Would he go back to the party realm? I'm really interested in that. Obviously, I don't think they're going to bring Gamadon back for a future season, or at the very least, they're not going to bring him back. I feel like they think it's still too soon, but if they are to bring him back one day, I hope they kind of touch on that last Oni mask idea a bit, just to see, maybe they left it out for a reason. Maybe they saved it for a later date and they don't know what they're going to do with it. Just my opinion. Also, another thing I really thought would have been interesting is I wish Lloyd and Nia had found out the ninja were alive later on in the season. And this kind of goes back to Nia's speech about how I wish it wasn't undone. Because again, her speech really was good, and it kind of got undone because Lloyd and Nia find out the ninja are alive in the exact same episode she gave the speech. I wish they found it out like maybe 3-4 episodes down the line, but obviously it wouldn't tie in with the whole endure thing, because the main themes of the season were about endurance and faith. And so it wouldn't make sense if Lloyd and Nia didn't find out about the ninja being alive, because like now they would like spend half the season not having any faith in saving the day. And I'm like, yeah, but it would also have been good to see how Lloyd and Nia would have been depressed, how they get through this and still try to fight, even though they don't see any hope for, they don't see themselves coming out of the situation. Like, how are they gonna fight if there doesn't seem to be light at the end of the tunnel? Will they continue, or will they just give up? I wish you had seen more of that. I know that kind of makes me a bit psychopathic. What's that word? I know it makes me a bit of a no. I know it makes me someone who enjoys watching someone suffer, and I forgot that word. What that word is? I guess that isn't me. Ha ha. Doo. But yeah, so I really wish we got to see more of that. But it's fine. Like, again, it didn't ruin the season for me. It's just how I think the season could have been improved if Lloyd and Nia found out that Ninja were alive later on. Though I still love how they hyped up the return of the OG Ninja and how important they are to Lloyd. For example, again, when Mistake tells Lloyd, yo, you must endure, I really like how they're kind of saying, oh yeah, the Elemental Masters, they have nothing. They are nothing like compared to the Ninja. The Ninja are the real deal. We gotta wait for them to come back, because once they come back, that's a real game changer. Like, we can just turn the tide of battle like immediately they get here. So I really like how they did that, and I also really like the breathtaking moment when the Ninja made it back to Ninjago. Like the scene where Wu gets on the firstborn and she summons the other dragons to help the ninja get back to Ninjago, that gave me chills. Literal chills. Seeing them fly through the sky and then zipping back to their hometown. I'm like, yes, this is the Ninjago I love. It was such a cool moment. Just breathtaking. That's all I could say about it. And I also really like, again, how Lloyd views his friends so highly. Shows his humility, and it's just legit very awesome and wholesome. And I love that. I love it so much. So yeah, now I guess we gotta talk about the last episode, to which I'll say I loved it. It's one of the best episodes of the entire show. I loved the action. I just this last episode is so good, because again, it does a lot of things that are fan servicey, like they're literally serving us fans what we wanted on a silver platter. I freaking love the action. It was really good. Like, damn, that's what you save the budget on. Oh my god. I loved how they animated the fold. Like, for those who don't know, the fold is the band that makes the music for Ninjago, and I seen them in animated form. That made me feel good things. That made me feel good things. I also love the final battle between Lloyd and Garmadon. Personally, I think this is the true final battle. I know a lot of people are gonna be mad at me saying, no, season 2 was the final battle. This is where Lloyd beats the Overlord, the Dark Lord of Darkness. But hear me out. I honestly think the fight between Garmadon and Lloyd is really special because the reason I say it's the final battle is because both of these guys are freaking at the height of their power. Or even better, Garmadon's at the height of his power, but Lloyd is literally struggling and he needs Wu to help him. On top of that, it's literally the entire Garmadon family fighting. Garmadon, Wu, and Lloyd are all fighting in this one big epic battle. Another reason I consider it to be the final battle is because Garmadon is fighting of his own free will. In season 2, the writers kind of chickened out having Lloyd fight Garmadon, and in the end they had Garmadon be possessed by the Overlord, which I'm like, okay, it's fine, but like, why'd you chicken out, my guy? This fight was literally predicted for days, years. You knew Lloyd and Garmadon were gonna have to fight, and then you kind of do this. But I honestly feel like having it in this season 9, Lloyd and Garmadon fight face to face. None of them are holding back any punches, and they are going at it. Mind you, Garmadon is acting of his own free will. You can't even say Harumi is manipulating him, because Harumi died like an episode or two ago. So I really like how Garmadon is fighting of his own free will, and they're just going at it. It was a really fun battle. I really cannot praise how much I love that fight. Great animation, great colors, great fighting. The firstborn is even there, so that's technically even Garmadon's grandmother who's fighting for him. I'm fighting at him. Fighting him? Yeah, fighting him. Lloyd getting his power back, saying he won't fight Garmadon. Green power. I don't know. I don't know. I really do like this battle. I honestly consider it to be the true final battle. Again, because it lasted so long, and because, in my opinion, it's just that good. It really is that good of a final battle. So, yeah, I really liked it. I really don't know what to say. I really enjoyed the final battle of season 9, and I really do consider it in my head to be the true final battle of the show. Another reason why I would even say that is because season 10 is called March of the Oni, and this is technically the last season of the old show. Obviously, Ninjago is still like one big show, and season 11 is still tied to the old canon, though it is under the title of a different show. It's like a weird relationship there. And so what I really like about it is that season 10 is technically the last season of the old show, where they're fighting another threat. So it makes sense that this would even be the final battle, because Lloyd is fighting Garmadon, and then afterwards they deal with the big threat, and then they all go home, party over or day over or whatever. And so, in my opinion, I really like it, and I really do think that this should be technically called the final battle. I know I'm gonna have a lot of people trying to cancel me or kill me or whatever, but it's just how it is. Though, if there is a thing I would say about the season is I wish it didn't end on a cliffhanger. I really wish it ended a lot like season 6 with its happy ending, but of course, I was really hoping that this season would have been the last season of the show because it was so damn good. But it ended on a cliffhanger, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I wish, again, I do wish it ended with a celebration, but it was fine for what it was. I really like how it ended like season 6, but for that cliffhanger, I'm not angry. I'm just fine with it. Of course, I need to find some way to market season 10, so why not? Overall, season 9 of Ninjago Hunted is not perfect, but it's the best we're ever gonna get. I know the creators say that Ninjago is yet to hit its peak, but I say it's already hit the peak. They've already reached the top, and honestly, like, there's nowhere to go but down. You've literally reached the highest point of Earth. This season is so good. It's like that good. So yeah, season 9 Ninjago season 9 Hunted is a fun, energetic, entertaining, invested, and a great season filled with lots of tension and suspense. The action captures everything. The action is everything I ever wanted in Ninjago, and the storytelling, the fan service, the writing is everything I love about Ninjago. This season is true classic Ninjago. It's not even classic, it's retro. It takes the old stuff about Ninjago that worked and mixes it with the new stuff. Unlike season 8 where it was like purely new, season 9 takes both old and new and creates a beautiful baby out of it. And that baby is season 9 Ninjago Hunted. Wait, no, Ninjago season 9 Hunted. I keep saying that order wrong. For all those reasons and more, this is my favorite and best season of the show. Objectively the best. I would like to see anyone else argue with me. So yeah, in the end, I give this season a 9.5 out of 10. But since decimals don't exist, it's a 9 out of 10. And don't you dare even argue with me over that. Decimals do not exist. I've never heard of what a decimal is. What is a decimal? No. So I guess the closest I'll give this season is a 9 out of 10. And it deserves it. So yeah. So that's my review of Ninjago Season 9 Hunted, guys. A really, I want to say a positive review. Very few things to argue about it. Most of the complaints I have against this season, again, are really either my own personal pet peeves or how I could have made the season better if I was in charge. But for what they did and for like how they wrote it and fan service, perfect. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Again, this video is sponsored by Fitness Solutions. Check out Fitness Solutions in the link down below. It's in the description. Everything you need to know about it is there. And become like me, buff Mickey Mouse. So be sure to like if you like, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell to join the notification team. I've been Captain Phoenix, and I will see you in another universe. Goodbye, my beautiful Rangers.
Get back, around and spin, and now it's your back to it again.